Hey, it's the Sid. Hiking with my good friend Alan today. We are in Lory State Park and we're leaving from the Arthur's Rock trailhead. That trail goes up and we'll eventually wind up coming down on that trail. We're actually going to go south and hook up with a couple of additional trails, work our way into a loop, and I'll tell you more about that as the day progresses. So we started off on the South Valley Loop, and we're going to immediately, well, within a couple hundred yards, connect off of it and take this Mill Creek link to yet another trail. The Lory State Park has a valley loop that runs the entire north-south direction of the park down on the valley floor, called the Valley Loop. And you can see back to the parking lot. Then there's a bunch of trails that go off up in elevation into the foothills, which is where we're going to be going next. So we've been climbing since we left the valley floor, and we're now at the second junction on this hike. We're taking the Mill Creek link to the Howard Trail and over to Arthur's Rock. One of the nice things about this trail is you get a great mix of both sort of out in the open as well as pine trees and some really nice rock formations, which we'll see a little bit more of later. We're almost parallel with Arthur's Rock now, which shows you, how much elevation gain there is. You can see the reservoir down below. We have a little bit more climbing, but then we're going to work our way over and perhaps up on top of that. The views from there are pretty spectacular. So we've come to another trail junction, which gives us a choice of going up the West Ridge Trail, which gains another 500 feet of elevation and creates a much bigger loop than the one that we're on today. What we're going to do is we're going to go straight across on the Howard Trail to connect to Arthur's Rock Trail. We've already hiked a little over 2 miles and gained about 1,000 feet. This would have been the really long loop that we talked about at that one junction. Comes down and meets us here. We're actually coming in and meeting the Arthur's Rock Trail, which is going to go straight east down to the parking lot, and partway down we're going to get a chance to turn left and go climb Arthur's Rocks. So we're going to make our way up this little rock gully, hang a left, and go up on top of the rock. We're about to climb up this slab and make our way up to the actual top of the rock. You can see some of the views as we go up. This part's a little dicey. You don't want to slip here. Fortunately, it's a dry day. Another little narrow spot. And we are officially on top of Arthur's Rock. It is a very popular place to be. A lot of people hike this. We happen to be doing it on a weekday. Again, you see Fort Collins in the distance with a reservoir there. Well, we've made the descent and we have about another half a mile down into the valley to the parking lot left to go. Well, we've made it down. We're coming up to the junction of the Valley Loop, the north part of the Valley Loop, and we're heading back to the parking lot. And one of the things you see in the background is a great example of those hogbacks that we talked about in a previous video. All right, so we had a great hike, just about 5 miles, about 1,000 feet of elevation gain, probably a little more. And there's my hiking partner in the background, Alan. Any last words there, Alan?
It was hot today, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Bring water.
Good hike though. Anyway, Alan and the Sid out.